I'm Ranu Jung. I'm a professor in the Department of Biomedical Engineering. I'm also the interim dean for the College of Engineering and Computing. Today, it is my pleasure to tell you about my lab, and I'm the director for the Adaptive Neural Systems Lab. In the bottom, you see 4 PhD students who are in the lab. Polit, that's not his real name, it's Mohammed Ahmad something, but he goes by Polit. Ian Black, Andres Pena, and Ricardo Su. And there are several other undergraduate students that many of them mentor, so I'm not going to name everybody there, but they are the graduate students who have been running the lab. In our lab, basically, we are looking at therapeutic and reparative neurotechnology. And the overall mission of the lab is to improve the quality of life of individuals with disabilities by designing technology and techniques to do 3 things: either to investigate the nervous system or the musculoskeletal system, to replace something that may not be functioning, or to repair it. So investigate, replace, repair, and it is the neurological system or the biomechanical system. And there are 3 pillars: engineering, life sciences, and rehabilitation that support this research work. If I look at overall what is it, the different projects that are going on in the lab, we could classify them into 3 different categories. The one is to restore sensory function and motor control after limb loss, so after trauma, and in case of amputation. And the second is to promote neuro recovery after spinal cord injury. So what may happen after spinal cord injury is paralysis, and there are different ways in which you may restore function after that. And the third part is to look at what we might do in regards to promoting healthy aging. So there are 3 words on the top that I present to you, and one is what I call neurodesign, and this is trying to look and understand what it is about the biological system that we know in the design of our engineering system itself. So pulling that ideas that you may have when you study the biology, when those undergraduates who will go through Dr. Brown's class, when you are looking at the biology part, how can you translate that into engineering design that you will do in many other classes? Translational research, so we are very much looking into whatever we are investigating or designing or developing, how are we going to take that out of the lab to actually be applied, and in our case, taking it all the way perhaps to human use. So taking an idea or a discovery all the way to deliver some assistive or therapeutic system, and in the process, you may go through device algorithms, design and development, so computational work. You may do preclinical studies that are animal studies. You may do human subjects testing, and then in partnership with clinical partners, you would actually take it into the clinic. And so what you require for this is an academic clinical industry collaboration. So communication is absolutely important, and ability to talk to people in different fields and to be able to discuss with them your ideas, your thought processes, telling them about what you do and learning from them what they do, that is absolutely essential. So that's maybe the soft side of biomedical engineering, but without that, you cannot achieve any of these other things that you would like to do. So as I already said, there is animal work, human work, cadaver work, signal processing that goes on, some technology development part, control systems and algorithms, and then actual assessments of different devices. Overall, if you could say we are doing neural engineering and computational and experimental neuroscience. I'm going to give you some examples of some of the work that is going on. One major area is developing neural interface technology, and this has to do with our work with restoring sensation for people with limb loss. And so what we are wanting to do is to be actually able to tap into the nervous system directly. So preparing these biohybrid systems, the animate and the inanimate, and directly tapping into the nerves of the residual limb to either record from them activity so that we may control a prosthesis that the person may use, the amputee, or to stimulate those nerves in order to restore the sense of touch or sense of, say, for example, for an upper hand amputee, hand opening or closing. So those are 2 major projects there. And then, of course, what we really want, the holy grail, is this biodirectional communication. So this is one of the projects that is in the process of getting a Class 3 FDA approval. And in this case, we have got sensors in a prosthetic hand. Then there are external components that take this information and transmit it wirelessly to an implanted stimulator, which is connected to electrodes that are implanted in the wires themselves. And as I said, we are going through an FDA process for this. All the hardware, software has been developed, computational models have been developed, a lot of actual mechanical testing of the leads to see that they are robust has been done in the labs. Cadaver studies have been done, preclinical studies have been done, and some studies on able-bodied subjects have been completed, and we are going to complete the rest. There is a second project with restoring ventilation, and in this case after paralysis, and in this idea is that if you cannot breathe, can we restore ventilation by stimulating the diaphragm? And we have done a lot of the computational work for this, and we are doing currently, one of the grad students is working on a rat model to see can we restore ventilation. Finally, this last slide says there are other projects that are going on with regards to looking at effects of aging on activities of daily living, looking at how we may do better prosthetic fit to an amputee, studying that. And some interesting studies with looking at the effects of meditation on brain activity. So some fun activity on the side. You can find out more at ans.fiu.edu. It gives you the names of the students, postdocs, and research staff in the lab. And of course, you can contact me anytime. Thank you.